Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Babe. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like to cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, to the nice end. Yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Silver Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just get a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I will never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side.
Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, Episode 63. We have an NBA champion, we have a Stanley Cup champion, another weekend baseball, and a UFC pay-per-view that all just happened this past week, and we have the boys here to let you know what's going on. I am McDilly. We have Tyco as well. The Wander and Luke should be joining us shortly. Pretty big week in sports, boys.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a fucking Wednesday, and we got 2 champions named this week. Not to mention, if anyone cares about tennis, Rafael Nadal, I'm pretty sure, or no, what's his name? Who's the guy that won this last?
I mean, that sounds like the guy who wins most of them. I know his name. You're probably right.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of it. But there was also a tennis champion named as well. So in the last 4 days,
Novak Djokovic.
The guy I see on
him.
Yeah.
That guy is now won the most Grand Slam titles of any tennis player in the history of tennis. So that happened, and then we got an NHL and an NBA champion named Monday and Tuesday night, respectfully. So we'll talk about them in order. But let's start with the NBA first. So, Dylan.
Right.
First title in Nuggets history.
First
and
off,
I think
I gotta
that
give a round of
it's
applause.
in large part to the.
Hey, first off, I gotta give a round of applause
ahead.
to Jesse. First off, I gotta give a round of applause to Jesse. Jesse said, "Hey, beginning of playoffs, first day. I don't know why, but I could take the Nuggets to go to the conference finals and potentially win it all. So I will give Jesse his props. It's hard when you have somebody that you think can win it all and then you predict it right. But that little congratulations out of the way. Let's talk about what these boys did. Hi, Luke. We're happy that you joined us, and we're happy to see you.
Hello, Suns in 10.
What's up, Luke?
Okay, so
Suns in 10? 10 more days or
10 years?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 seconds.
No, 10 years. Okay.
10
so
milliseconds by the second power. Lock it in.
So let's start with the Denver Nuggets. And, of course, the first thing we got to talk about is the finals MVP, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic averaged 30.2 points per game, 14 rebounds per game, 7.2 assists per game, and shot 58% from the field goal. He's the lowest drafted player to ever win the finals MVP, and he was one of the
drafted during a Case Rito commercial.
Never forget, man. Drafted during Taco Bell commercial, and he wasn't even drafted as a center, and is now one of the best centers of all time. Crazy. He was drafted as a four, so that's wild. But Nikola Jokic was not the only reason that they got there, but he was definitely the biggest reason. First off, I want to shout out Aaron Gordon. Not only does this man deserve a ring for, being one of the best high-profile dunkers in the league, but also his defense has been super elite, especially during the playoffs. He had to guard Karl Anthony Towns, and he was effectively shut down for the Timberwolves. Then in the second round, he had to guard KD, and for any man, that's no easy task. Then the conference finals, he had to defend LeBron James. Don't know if you heard, but he's pretty good at basketball. And then in the finals, he had to defend Jimmy Butler, who, not going to lie, got pretty locked up in the finals, especially first half of majority of the games. So big shout out to Aaron Gordon, also on defense. And then the final thing I want to point out before I'll send it over to Jesse is this team is 28, 27, 26, and 24, that being MPJ, Jamal, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic. Very young team and a very scary team to come if everyone stays healthy in the future years. Jesse.
I don't know if Denver will be a dynasty because they could be. With the way the league is right now, there's nobody that's really built 100% better than they are. They're pretty deep in their rotation. So they have the potential. I'm not going to jump the gun, but there's potential there. When you're being first in the West for consecutive years and then you're missing players in the playoffs, and then you finally have everybody with the weapons you've added over the years and win it, it looks good.
There's no reason that Jokic shouldn't be dominating the league if he's healthy for the next 5 to 10 years, for however long he wants.
Oh, yeah. But will he have everybody around?
Yeah, I'd say more like a 6 to 8 span, but I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic at the age of 28 is an NBA champion, a Finals MVP, a Western Conference MVP, a 5-time All-Star, a 5-time All-NBA player, and a 2-time MVP. I mean, the man is taking the league over.
Look, hear me out. Denver, for the longest time, their problem was that they kept getting injured, and they did not have all these guys on the floor at the same time. Give them the opportunity to have all these guys on the floor at the same time. What do? Walk their way through the West and snag their first ever title in Denver. So, I mean, if these guys can all stay healthy and not go down like they did in the past to cause them not to make, the playoff runs that they just did, I think that it's very possible that they go pretty far.
I agree.
Year after year after year.
I think that honestly, I could just copy and paste what you said. I agree. But one thing I do want to talk about before we go over to Miami is Nikola Jokic. Now, I don't know if anybody watched after he won the championship, but Nikola Jokic, I don't think he really knows that he won the championship. But after he was interviewed,
he's so funny.
He didn't.
That man does not give a fuck.
Have a care. And then when he was told, Nikola, the parade is actually on Friday. You're not going home Wednesday. You got to stay till Friday for the parade. He's pissed. Oh, I'm supposed to go home. I told Horse I was going to be home Wednesday. So who's going to tell the Horse that I can't be there Wednesday now? Huh?
Horse, what do you mean? He's a father and.
No, he said he wants to go home for his horse racing championship that is on Wednesday. So now he says they have to move that horse racing event to Friday. So
Did
he's
you hear Horse?
It's his horse. He owns a horse. He owns a whole
God,
horse farm.
Did you hear Horse? Can somebody help me out here? Because I thought you said horse, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
No.
Horse.
Now I hear
You
racing.
are the only one.
But when you first said it, I was like, what are you talking about? That's not what he means.
Man.
He doesn't
It's
love
you.
horse. He's his wife. He has a child. He's
Nobody
so
thought of that.
My bad.
Get your head out of the gutter, Jesse.
This took a left.
Horses.
Right.
He's a horse
You're an
racing
ass.
champion.
I sure horse didn't get the E or the
But
S.
anyways, what I'm trying to say is,
Oh my God.
the point I'm trying to make is, Nikola Jokic does not look at the NBA like everyone else. The best superstars that ever play the game, KD, LeBron, whoever, they look at this game as a passion. They look at this game as their life. Nikola Jokic looks at the NBA as a 9-to-5 job, as if you guys were to look at your jobs. He looks at it as I have to clock in. I have to go play basketball as ever long as they make me play basketball and I go do good. I'm better than everyone else. And then I go home to horse. That's it. He doesn't give a fuck.
Your Nikola Jokic voice is hilarious.
He does not give a fuck. I go play basketball.
He's not. Oh my God.
I go play basketball. I beat everybody. Go home to horse. I only care about horse. That's it. He treats it like a 9 to 5. I've never seen anybody, not just in basketball, but in their profession of work. He didn't give a fuck that he won the championship. He tackled Jamal Murray into a pool, and that was the only excitement I got on this motherfucker's face the whole night. His brothers were happier than he was. They were picking up the commissioner, kissing him on the head. And Jokic is over here like, I just want to see my horse.
Give the man his horse, all right? I mean,
he'll be happy at home. He'll be out of
I
this.
miss my dog. What if he doesn't have a dog? He only has a horse.
I mean,
Same thing.
I understand, but I thought it was great. Also,
Maybe
shout
he
out
has sexual relations with the horse.
Shout out DeAndre Jordan getting a ring. That's hilarious. Took him 12 years.
He's on that roster?
Yeah, he won a ring. He just got a ring. DeAndre Jordan, 12
He
years.
broke the Clippers. Maybe someone else from the Clippers can win one.
DeAndre Jordan got a ring before Blake Griffin or Chris Paul. Keep that in mind.
Maybe he broke it.
Out of the
Someone
big
else
three.
might be able to win it now.
So I just think that's very funny. I literally said, most of this team is Pistons, so I'm actually really happy. Congrats, Reggie Jackson. Congrats, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You know what I mean? Like, all these Pistons, I'm like, I'm actually happy for this roster. Like, good job, Jokic and Pistons and Bruce Brown, Lana Rhodes, baby daddy, and good job, man. But anyway, we got to talk about the Miami Heat playoff run because what they did was pretty damn special. And I do want to talk about this, and then I also want to talk about Miami, talking about how they are heavy shopping. Their GM said they are heavy shopping in free agency because they want to be an elite team to make another run. They did lose the play-ins to the Hawks, and a lot of people after that really didn't focus too much attention on them. So what did they do? They beat the Bulls for the 8th seed. They knocked off the number 1 seed Bucks, which nobody saw coming, in 5. Then they beat the number 5 seed Knicks in 6. They beat the number 2 seed Celtics, who were the front runner in the Eastern Conference. Then they were the first play-in team to ever make the finals, and were the second number 8 seed to ever make the finals as well.
And they gave Denver their only loss at home in the playoffs.
Correct. So I do want to give a little props there to Miami because what they did was special. Also doing most of it without 2 high-impact players, one high-impact player and Victor Oladipo. No shade, but just where he's at right now, it's the truth. So I will say that it makes it more impressive. So big shout out to Miami. And my question to you, Jesse, about Miami is, could you see any potential, Kyrie or somebody coming, John Wall, is somebody that could make this roster better? Because in my opinion, I think the roster is good. I think injuries just fucked them.
They could win in the East on the same roster. They just maybe you want to get rid of some players that you're like, I'm not going to lie, you're not that good. You just popped off for a little bit. So people might pay you a little more attention. Maybe something like that, but I don't know. I think not only with the injuries, it's just they played so many games. They had to play in. I think they were just tired.
The question is, you could have people like Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, this and that. You could have people that stepped up for the playoffs. Like, we've seen people step up for the playoffs because they had to off of injury, like Mike Conley, and then the next year they're going to go back to their 12, 13 points per game, right? But then you've also seen
not Mike Conley. Don't disrespect him like that.
I couldn't think of any other example off the top of my head.
No, that was a defensive player of the year.
All right, give me a better one. Exactly, we're going with Mike Conley.
It was on the spot. I don't count Mike Conley.
That's how I was. I was on the spot in my head. But anyways, what I was saying is, or you could have somebody like Jalen Brunson who they go off in the playoffs one year and then they become some elite player like they are now in New York. So really, you don't know what's going to happen with these guys, and that's the biggest question mark around Miami, in my opinion. Last thing in basketball before we move on is the Detroit Pistons have a new head coach. Don't know if you've heard of him, but his name is Monty Williams. He took the Phoenix Suns, who are a poverty team, and have now made the NBA playoffs 5 years in a row, and have been to the finals 1 year in that span. So he comes over to the Detroit Pistons. He is now the highest paid coach in the league. How do we feel?
For the fact that I feel like Phoenix hasn't made it due to their players, I don't think it had anything to do with money. I'm okay with this. I think it'll work out well for us.
I think
But
that
I'm not sold.
I think I agree. All I can do is look at what he did with Phoenix and just say, yeah, maybe he wasn't the reason that Devin Booker decided he wanted to be a superstar and all this and that. But ever since they brought CP3 in, there's been a different energy in Phoenix, and he's been the catalyst there. He's been the guy calling the plays, leading the charge. So if he can bring that energy over here and he can make Cade an elite player, not that he already isn't, he can make Ivy an elite player, which I would love to see. It would be great. And I think at the end of the day, we got to help Monty as much as Monty's going to help us. And by that, I mean we got to do a little bit of shopping. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. I think that this is good. I think that he was the best coach on the market that we could have got, and we got him. We just had to pay him the right money. And that is the NBA, and that means we go from one champion to another.
When everyone looked at me like I was crazy and was backing me into a corner talking about why you think Vegas is going to win, I may have fucked my bracket, but I got it at the end.
I don't know why. I don't know how Marshall
Fair.
won the Conn Smite. They should have gave that one to the refs.
Yeah, well, when you let him score 9 goals, I don't think it matters.
I was going to say, it ain't the refs when you put up
You still would have lost. Even if they only got 6. They got 9. But, like we said, Vegas Golden Knights won the first Stanley Cup in only 6 years of being a franchise, after being the first franchise also to have a professional sports team in the city of Las Vegas, and it only takes them 6 years to win their first Stanley Cup. Luke, we'll go to you first.
Well, the only good thing that ever came out of Vegas Knights winning the Cup is Phil Kessel is now a 3-time champ. And he gave the double bird to all the fans who talk shit when he was in Toronto, who said he couldn't win shit, because now he is a 3rd Stanley Cup champ. He's a dog. And, you know, you can't blame him. He's just an absolute dog. Going to go eat some dogs. He's going to go get a fucking lap dance and eat some fucking dogs while he's getting a lap dance. He's wondering what's on the menu, and he's going to be pissed off if it's not dogs.
He said, quote
Kessel is a
unquote, you
dog.
guys in Toronto said I couldn't win. Now I'm a 3-time champ. Seems like it wasn't me. Remember that. I love it.
Quoted Phil.
But also, he's not the only 3-time Stanley Cup champ, because Alec Martinez, Phil Kessel, and Jonathan Quick have now won their 3rd Stanley Cup championship, and they join Marc-Andre Fleury, Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Pat Maroon as the only people to do so. So shout out to Alec Martinez and Jonathan Quick as well as Phil the Thrill. Are we going to talk about the Conn Smythe? Because, I mean, Jonathan Massachusetts won the Conn Smythe. I mean, he had 13 goals and 12 assists, but...
You say Massachusetts?
I did say Massachusetts. Damn, I did. But Luke doesn't seem that he should have won. So, are we... I didn't really think he should have won either, but...
Dylan, say his
Should have
name.
gave it.
Marchessault.
There you go.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to give it to the fucking Stripes because, you know, first 2 games, absolutely god-awful officiating. Honestly, we're used to seeing terrible officiating all throughout hockey, but it's usually going both ways, not heavily one fucking sided. Where, oh, hey, you play for the Panthers, you get a 10-minute misconduct. You get a 10-minute misconduct. You get a 10-minute misconduct. Oprah Winfrey. Oh, let's look back at the game 5. Oh, Vegas scored after the whistle blew. All right, that's a good goal. Call it. Ring it up. 3-1, baby.
I didn't think the officiating was terrible.
Like that.
But yeah, when you break it down and you just point out all the bad things that happened, yeah, there were more than there should have been.
It's funny. It's actually funny because when they showed there was a clip on social media of the Knights celebrating. They're still like everyone's jumping the bench onto the ice.
I just hate playing
with
that
like
game.
9 seconds left, and everyone's in the comments going, "That's a disgrace. That should have been a too many men penalty. like joking around and everything. Then someone goes, "Oh fuck! How did Chuck not get a 10-minute misconduct out of that?"
The way the penalties were just flying. I mean, would it really
Normally,
have done that big surprise?
Normally, I accept and don't
Chuck,
blame the refs because it's
suspended
usually
first game of next season.
like right. I mean, we want to talk about suspensions too. Oh, how about the guy who left the penalty box when he still had a penalty after the game and joined a fight?
That was
should have
funny.
been that should have been a 10-game
That whole
suspension
fight was
by
hilarious.
the rule. Yeah, but there's a
Yeah.
guy who was in the box and he joined the fight. That's the same thing as coming off the bench, stated in the rule. No 10-game sussy. He plays. He gets some points in game 5 when he should have been done for the series.
Nah, I just hate playing that game of blaming
like,
the refs, especially when it's
I hate it too.
I mean, you're not
I hate
wrong.
it too.
By the rule, you're not wrong.
He's not. That's why I'm getting pissed.
Dylan, 9 times out of 10, I hate it too. I'd never really do blame the refs because it's usually both ways. But when it's so heavily one-sided, yes, I am blaming the fucking refs.
I can't blame them for an entire series when I watched them score 9
Yes,
goals in the final game.
Well, I mean,
I
they
watched
shouldn't have even
Marcelo
had
get a
that
hat
third
trick
goal.
before the third period started. I can't blame the fucking refs.
Well, I mean, one call can determine the fucking game, like as in going up 3-1 by scoring after the whistle was blew. Now you're down by 2 instead of 1 shot. And that just depletes the energy of your team when you're 1 game away from elimination.
But there was 2 games
then you keep going down.
But there was 2 games where they pulled the Florida goalie, and I'm not blaming him, but I'm saying like he was not getting any help. And I'm not saying that for the refs. I'm saying the fucking team. They were not helping bro at all. 2 games. I'm trying to help.
I mean, I think when it came down
help
to it, I mean, Vegas was the bigger team. They were faster.
Trying to give them something that isn't the refs because
they were just more dominant.
Florida was just more hurt.
I'm not agreeing with you, Luke. I'm really not, and that's why I'm trying to give them.
Chuck played game 4 with a fucking broken sternum.
He had a broken.
Ekblad had a broken foot and like I forgot what it was he tore, but he tore something and was playing on that, a broken foot and that.
Matthew Tkachuk suffered a broken
and Ekblad actually scored.
He played through it game 3 and game 4.
But
the reason he didn't play game 5 was because he realized when his brother had to help him get out of bed and ready for the game that he probably wouldn't be able to play.
He wasn't even, he couldn't even get dressed himself in game 4, right?
That's what I'm saying. Game 4, his brother had to help him get ready, and then game 5, he couldn't get out of bed. So, like, this guy literally put his entire body on the line for the squad. And you hate to see it when he had the run that he had. I mean, he single-handedly fucking won him 3 games.
You take all that shit, then you add in the refs being one-sided dog shit, and then allowing. I mean, Vegas was a good powerhouse.
They had a lot of
you cripple a team that's already been crippled even more with the way you're calling games. That's just gonna.
You can't cripple a cripple, man.
There's no winning at that point.
You can't cripple a cripple.
You cripple somewhere else. You can't walk. Okay, now cripple your arms. Now you can't do anything with your arms. Now you're like cripple.
And the one chance that they have to cripple Vegas, they don't take it, and they say fuck the rules. Hey, your best defenseman can play in game 5 instead of getting a 10-game sussy.
Look, let's talk about what really matters, though. The Golden Knights officially get free lap dances now forever. The mission. The entire organization gets free lap dances for life. This isn't just the people that were playing. This goes for the training, the coaching. This is the whole organization here.
Hold on, you telling me this is like a publicly acclaimed there's an
it was literally said by a club owner.
Vegas Golden Knights, you're getting some free ass.
It was literally.
They were busy last night. You already know they were busy.
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they
still busy.
I'm pretty sure they had the cup in a club already. So
yeah, it says that they get free lap dances and they are VIP membership for life.
Wow.
I also want
to too, huh?
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
This your old grandpa's card?
Jack Eichel's gonna have some problems, man.
I'm gonna be honest.
He's too young.
I'm gonna be honest. Going back to the Conn Smythe thing too. Besides the ref thing, I'm not gonna go back to the ref thing. I read
Thank
through
you.
enough about that.
That's good.
I don't understand how anybody but Aiden Hill doesn't get it, because without Aiden Hill, they would not have made the run they had. He literally made so many
Yeah, dude, that
important
guy was
saves
standing
to
on his
keep
head.
their ass in the games. Like,
Yeah.
you could count a
Goalie
billion
did not.
chances by each team in each series where Aiden Hill was there and stopped the puck when it should have been a 100% guaranteed goal.
There was another stat about that Conn Smythe. I think he was like the first undrafted player to win it since Gretzky or some shit like that. Which just made me be like, what? Yeah, it says right here that he was
Wayne
the
Gretzky was
first
talking about
undrafted
it,
player
too.
to win the Conn Smythe Trophy since Wayne Gretzky did it in 1988.
Oh, congratulations, dude. Wayne Gretzky was like on the broadcast too.
But I do agree with you. I thought
pretty
that
cool.
Aiden Hill.
He was
Well, listen. Okay,
literally
when
there.
they were going into the after game one, it said that the Conn Smythe leading finalist, it was Aiden Hill, who was number one for Vegas, and then it was what's his name? Who's the goalie for Florida? Help me out, please.
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky, him and Tkachuk were at like the 1 and 2 for Florida, and then Marchessault was at the 4. So I guess this man must have fucking jumped. I don't understand how in that series he jumped above Aiden Hill, because going into it, like I said, Hill had higher odds to win than he did. So I'm just trying to figure out how
the sports
in that
books
series,
probably paid Gary.
Yeah, how in that just series alone,
They're
he
like,
jumped
look,
Aiden
man,
Hill. That's what I don't understand.
we'll
So
make
Because
more
how
money
do
because
you-
of this guy.
How do you win by that many goals in multiple games? Oh, your goalie making ginormous saves to keep the puck out of the net
No, I
on
agree.
very good scoring opportunities. It honestly, if it doesn't go to the refs, it should go to Aiden Hill.
Here's my thing, though. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is an opinion. I feel like most people, when they win the Stanley Cup, unless they have some guy who's breaking records or carrying the squad, you're looking at your goalie and you can make a case for them to win the Vezina. Most times.
I mean, yes and
Yeah,
no,
I'd say
but
that's
not
true.
that.
Okay.
I mean, that's true, but not the way Aiden Hill was playing. He was literally stopping every great opportunity.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just throwing
Like
that out there.
99%.
And I think that's a
of the
better story.
It is a better story.
Who the hell knew Aiden Hill at the beginning of the season? Nobody,
time. I did.
I didn't know him going into playoffs.
except for Luke.
He played for. He was a goalie for the Yotes a couple years ago.
Okay.
Ding, ding,
Of
ding,
course.
ding, ding.
Well, that makes sense, and that is NHL.
Hey, because baseball's going to be...
What's going on, guys? Tycho here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
I was going to say, do you want to do UFC before baseball, because we have a shit ton of baseball?
Excuse me?
Do you want to do UFC before baseball, because we have a lot of baseball, is what
I think
I
that's a question for Luke.
Luke, would you like to recap UFC right now?
Sure.
All right.
UFC it is.
Well, Mark, we'll start it off with the first fight of the pay-per-view. Marc-Andre Barriault defeats Eric Anders via decision after 3 rounds.
Bro almost knocked him out round 1 with his foot.
Yeah, dude was just... It was a good fight, but, I mean, Barriault was just on top of each round, every single round.
This Eric guy, I didn't think he looked like a fighter the entire round, like the entire fight. And then afterwards, I found out he was a football player, like a former football player. And I was like, that makes sense. He just looked like fucking Greg Hardy in that bitch. Just.
And then the next fight, Dan the Man Ige defeats Nate Landwehr via decision after 3 rounds, which I love Ige. I like saying Ige.
This guy just pieced him up the whole fight. I didn't
He
think
really
I didn't
did.
think it was close.
It wasn't close.
He just
Thought it was
mauled him the
close,
whole
you're
fight.
dumb. And then for the third fight, my dreams came true, and Mike Malott defeats Adam.
It's Adam Fugit. There's a hidden Y, and I listened to it when DC kept announcing him. There's a hidden Y. It's Fugit.
That's cool. He lost, and Mike Malott won, so I don't gotta say his stupid ass fucking name anymore.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. We appreciate it.
Dylan, real question. Do you think there's a hidden Y, or do you think he was saving himself from slipping?
I don't know, but if he saved himself, then he's a smart man. All right, let's talk about the fight of the night. Woo!
Yeah, Charles Oliveira defeats Beneil Dariush first round KO.
First round KO. Oh my God, he didn't even get stunned or wobbled. I have never seen an Oliveira fight where he didn't do some dumbass shit and get himself stunned or wobbled. He did fucking get on the ground with Beneil for a second, and it scared me. But this was that calmest Charles fight I've ever watched. So thank God for that. That was great.
Yep.
He didn't get stunned, didn't get wobbled, and now there's going to be a rematch. I don't want to talk about the rematch.
Another fight of the night, just to move on to get absolutely mollywopped by Makhachev part 2.
I don't even want to talk about the rematch because I just knew that you were going to be like, he's doing all this just to get fucking mopped. And you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but all I know
I know what's going to happen.
All I know is this was what I needed to believe again. So he might have just fucked me again, but I'm back in all the way. I was never out.
Oliveira's going to be too big in his head because of Makhachev's last fight against Volkov. Is
Makhachev going to have another fight, or do you think his next fight's just going to be Oliveira?
This is the next fight.
Okay.
He's the champion.
It makes sense. He has every right to.
And also, people have to win fights to fight him. He's not like he just cleared a division. Now he can really just pick and choose.
Well, Charles cleared the division, and then he cleared Charles.
Easy as fuck.
I wouldn't say easy.
Did you watch that first fight?
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
No
fight is easy if you win by submission, in my opinion. I've never seen a Charles win. I've never seen Charles.
He literally mauled them from the very start and then submitted them.
Look, this is why I didn't want to talk about the rematch. Let's talk about the main event.
You're delusional if you didn't think that was an easy fight.
It's okay though, because Charles is coming for his belt back. The champion has a name, and it's Charles Oliveira. Let's move on.
It's actually Makhachev, but he can hold the Ghost title, I guess. The main event, Amanda Nunez absolutely obliterated Irene Aldana, made her look like she didn't belong in the octagon. I don't even know what she was doing there. I don't even know how she got there. I don't know how she won her previous fights because she looked scared of the aura of Amanda Nunez. And Amanda Nunez absolutely just dragged her across everywhere and just fucked her up and killed her spirit. And now she might just... I'm surprised she didn't retire instead of Amanda Nunez because that was terrible.
I got nothing to say other than Amanda's the best fucking women's fighter I've ever seen in my life. Everyone she gets in the octagon with, I feel like how Luke feels. I feel like how the fuck why are you in here? You don't have the right to be in the octagon with her. This doesn't make any sense. She retires. She drops the gloves because she ran through both divisions. She's beaten everybody more than once in both divisions. The only thing that she even had to stay around for is if there was going to be a trilogy with Valentina. She just lost to Grasso. So she put both belts. She retired, and I thought it was a smart decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Pena can go
she had the gall to hop on Twitter and say I scared Amanda Nunez into retirement.
You see
I
the
will
video of
take
her
it
cage
as a
side?
compliment. Yes, I've seen
What is with
everything.
this bitch?
Every reply that I've seen on anything that had anything to do about that of what she said was chirping the living fuck at her
Right.
because she got literally mauled in the rematch and dragged across the octagon and beaten the shit out of and absolutely flattened and dropped multiple times.
The trilogy
It
would have been no different. It would
really
have been
wouldn't
no
have been.
fucking different.
Like, congrats, Pena. You got the spark on the long reigning champion who's just kind of, I mean, that just happens to champs when you reign for a while. You're going to get caught
Right.
sleeping one of the fights. And that's what you did because you do your weird little fucking bull rush of spam punches. Ah! And you landed the first fight. And then you tried to do the same thing in the rematch and you got your ass planted.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that she even has the nerve to be like, I can't believe she's scared of me it's a joke. I think it's a
I'll
joke.
take this as a compliment.
You
Shut the
Get
fuck
the fuck
up.
out of here. The fact that Amanda said that she came back just to beat Pena one more time because she couldn't let her be champion because she knew that she sucked. So she had to go in there, prove that she got lucky and prove that she sucked. So then now she could retire. That's all
You
you
know,
need to know right there.
she could have literally finished Pena early in the fight, but she literally said after that, she's like, I was not going to finish her. I was not going for the finish. I was literally going in there to absolutely dominate for all 5 rounds to prove that I am an absolute tank and I'm the best. And she sucks fucking dick.
I mean, Amanda Nunez is the greatest women's fighter in UFC history, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's me. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So congratulations, Amanda Nunez. I guarantee you next year she will be headlining the Hall of Fame class if she stays retired. All right. Good pay-per-view, I will say. I was happy.
It wasn't the worst.
I've seen a lot. I've seen worse, but I've also seen a lot better. That's how I put it. All right. Let's move into the final thing that we have, and that is MLB.
Yes, sir.
You ready for this, Jesse? You ready to just get it? We got a lot. All right. I'm ready. First thing that we have, Jacob deGrom is officially undergoing Tommy John surgery. You fucking hate to see it, man. He just can't stay healthy. Best pitcher in the game, and he just can't stay healthy. He's only pitched in 5 games this year. He's just had Jacob deGrom numbers. He has like 46 strikeouts. He's got an ERA under 3. He only had 1 bad start, and his last start, or second to last start, I mean, was against Oakland. He had 11 strikeouts. So he's been on the deGrom shit. But the problem is he just came off Tommy John from the Mets, and now he comes over to the Rangers, gets a fat contract. One of the best pitchers in the game is back. Well, yeah, back on Tommy John. So, Jesse, I'm pissed. I'm just going to say it. For baseball, I'm pissed.
Yeah, no, it sucks because we know what deGrom's capable of, and like he's a potential he can win a Cy Young if he can play
Every year.
50 games. I mean,
if he can play at least half the games every year, he's in the conversation. I swear to God. Because I remember when he had Tommy John that year, he almost won, and he didn't play the last 3 months.
Yeah.
But then Ohtani started going crazy. But the biggest thing too is the Rangers. They've never been playing better. They're number 1 in their division right now.
Yeah.
They're almost one of the best teams in the AL, and their best pitcher, if not one of the best pitchers in baseball, is now going to be out for the rest of the season. Now,
I mean, they got the 3rd most wins. And
I agree. I was going to say, I don't think this is going to alter everything in a major way, but he is just an easy, reliable guy that every time he's out there, he's going to give you 6 innings, and you're going to get at least 2 to 3 runs max.
Yep.
Every time. And when you take something like that away, no matter what, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, because the Rangers, they have that pitcher-friendly, ballpark, and deGrom, whether he's in a pitcher-friendly or not, he's going to do his thing. So, just
100%.
it's
Fucking just blows is what it does. You know what else blows? Alex Manoah. What the fuck happened to him? So, for those of you who don't know, this man almost won the Cy Young last year. And by almost, I mean he was 2nd in Cy Young voting. That's where this man was. Now, this man can't throw a fucking strike to save his life. He can't throw honestly, he can't throw an inning because when he was playing against the Astros in his last start, he went 0.1 innings when he got pulled. That means he got 1 out. He gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, and a walk. His season ERA is up to 6.36, and Toronto didn't send him to AAA. They didn't send him to AA. They sent him to single A complex. Go learn to retie your fucking shoes and count to 2s, buddy, before you come back and start pitching, because I know you are a former Cy Young, but this shit is not okay. And they're telling him to just get his shit all the way together. I've never seen somebody that is a Cy Young player one year, the next year, get sent to single A, not because of injury, just because they're playing like shit. I've never seen it.
It's when you know you're a dumpster fire.
What the actual fuck?
It's trash can.
You want to talk about false hype? What was last year? This was the same guy who was during the All-Star game telling the guy, I'm going to throw this pitch, and striking motherfuckers out.
Yeah, man. He only throws 4 pitches. He hasn't really brought in anything into the mix, and he's stayed consistent. He's never gotten faster. He's kind of dropping off, so they know what to expect.
It honestly sucks when you see something like this, because the Blue Jays, I mean, I'm not going to say that their pitching staff is one of the best in baseball, but they have a good pitching staff.
Yeah.
And this is a blow. I mean, you're basically you're.
But it's a blow.
This is
the way he was playing. It's not a blow.
I was gonna say it's a blow, but it's weird because the best thing, and hopefully what will come out of this, is him being gone will have somebody else step up into his spot. Because I'm not thinking about this. I saw a lot of Blue Jays fans on Twitter that were like, "This is going to be perfect for when he comes back." Why are we thinking about that? That is not what should be on our brain. It should not be, "Oh, this is perfect when he comes back." Fuck him coming back right now, bro. That shouldn't even be in the mindset.
Nope.
He needs to go get right, and we need to move on right now.
He's not the man he once was. It's that simple.
He's not.
Right now, at least.
All right, there's a team that we have not talked about, or at least we haven't gone in depth this year, and I think it's time that we just bite this bullet and we just start talking. So I'm going to let you shoot the shit, okay?
Angels?
Nope. Nope. Wrong league. This is a team that I don't normally talk about. So the New York Mets have been playing like absolute dog shit this year, and normally they go into slumps and then it gets better, but this has been a slump that has never ended. And now they have Pete Alonso, who's going on the IL, and he will be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. He is currently he's second now in home runs for all of baseball, tied with Ohtani. Now he's going to be out for the rest of the month. The Mets are still in 4th place. And you have Schwarber, who's playing like crazy in this month, so the Phillies are going to keep going like crazy. The Braves are going to stay at the top. I mean, what the fuck is going on with the Mets? I thought when they got Verlander and fucking Scherzer, there was going to be something exciting going on in the water, but they can't pitch.
Yeah, that too. They're just trash.
What is going on?
It's no longer a rise. It's simply just.
And they were the team that are coming into this year had one of the most hype out of anybody. They were going to start making some noise. They finally got some pitchers. Maybe you forgot that they're 38 and 39. Maybe that fucking might factor in a little bit. I just think it's an absolute dumpster fire, and we had to talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
So, the Mets, their shit is not together, and I don't know if it ever will be.
At least New York has 2 teams. You know, they got a couple teams.
Correct, yeah. And if they both start sucking in a couple of years, they'll probably make a fucking new one. That will be the relocation. They'll do this whole MLB's gonna have a new team, and it'll just be a 3rd New York team, and we'll be pissed. So another player I want to talk about, who originally I wanted to talk about for Rookie of the Year, but he's making some more news other than Rookie of the Year. Now, I know Luke might pop in on this, and I wouldn't blame him if he did. Corbin Carroll from the Arizona Diamondbacks has been hitting insane. Corbin Barrels.
He's a dog. Certified dog.
Corbin Barrels, as Luke calls him.
Made the
Now,
Detroit Tigers his bitch.
I was going to come in here and say he's a lock for NL Rookie of the Year because he's first in that voting. But if you dig a little deeper, if you look on the odds, he's second in National League MVP right now. Out of everybody. as a rookie.
Because he's a dog.
Which is insane, which is very unlikely and is never done. So I want to just ask you guys, I think I know what Luke's going to say, but do you think this man could actually win NL MVP?
Who's he competing with, Josh?
Right now he's competing with Ronald. NL MVP.
Sure.
Yes, he can because he's a dog.
If Arizona can finish the way they're going right now and continue this for the whole year.
Because Arizona is still number 1 in the National League right now as we speak.
Yes.
Crazy.
He's gonna get that ring.
Number 1, he's getting it.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I think that's the best way to put it.
Arizona Diamondbacks, your 2023 World Series champions.
And then
MVP Corbin Carroll.
And
it's
then
going to be crazy because
wake up.
Said it at the beginning. We called
NL MVP Corbin Carroll. World Series MVP Corbin Carroll.
That'd be
I could see it happen.
Entire league MVP, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
MVP, but those are some crazy stats. All right, Tyler, get in here. I want you in here. I want all 4 of the boys just for this piece of info because I want your guys' thoughts, and I don't drink. So there is something going on in AA where the team that is in AA, being the Ducks, are now serving a boot of beer for players or for fans in the stadium. It is 67 ounces of beer.
Oh, yeah.
It is called the Duck Boot. So if you go to the Duck Pond, which is the ballpark, you can get a Duck Boot, which is 67 ounces of beer. Some people are saying you're insane. No one's going to drink that. Some people are saying this is amazing. I don't drink
price. Do we have a
so
price?
I want to know what you guys think.
Do we have a price?
No, we don't have a price yet because it is like.
Dang.
I just want to know how you guys feel about this. The price is coming out tonight.
67 ounces.
67 ounces of beer.
Look, man, I'm paying whatever. I don't care. 67
Let's dip on
ounces of beer.
this.
Yeah.
Actually,
Give it to me.
I would not drink it unless it's filled with Jack and Coke.
In fact,
with
give me
67
two.
ounces of Jack and Coke.
With
Give me 2 boots.
with 2 handfuls of limes.
2 handfuls of limes just shoved in there.
Yes. Or
Just
they can just squeeze them in there.
Shoved in there, Luke. Just, yeah.
Yes.
Nah, Luke,
What's
you
gonna
gotta
be
talk
scary
about
is
yourself.
what's gonna be scary is when Tyler drinks the first boot and goes, I could do another. And we're gonna go, no.
Haha. 2 boots.
Hey, man. All I'm saying is a double Jack and Coke at Tigers games are about $30. If I get that, I'll just need 1 drink for the entire game.
And it's not gonna be $30.
I never said it was going to be $30.
It is now. So,
Just the amount I would be
later.
the amount of drinking at the Tigers game would probably surpass the amount of the boot if I just got the 1 drink.
Let me tell you, that boot debuts in a MLB stadium ballpark. It'll definitely boost the amount of people that are coming in because you have to have a DD.
It's approximately 5.5.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be fine, Dave. You had 3 boots. Sit your ass down.
You have 3 boots under your seat. If you don't sit the fuck down.
Okay.
There's going to
wait
be
a minute.
so many more streakers.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh,
I
man.
have
Good thing it's
news.
AA.
I have a price and I have how much. Okay, so it is estimated that it is about over 5.5 bottles of beer in the boot.
If you
And
say
it
like
costs-
25,
And it costs approximately $20 plus tax at the bar.
No, I'm getting like 3 or 4.
And you get to
boots,
keep the cup.
dude.
It says if you want to buy the cup just on the team store, that can also be done.
Bro,
So,
let me get the
If that's a good deal
store.
for the boot for the beer boot,
What team?
I'm about to be paying $40
where
for
are
this
these
Jack
Ducks
and Coke.
located?
Bro,
This
Dylan,
is the
what's
Madison
team?
Mallards.
I know where Madison is.
If you buy 4 tickets and 1 duck boot, that's only 16. It's $59 for 4 tickets and a duck boot to the game. Oh, and an empty duck boot. And if you get it filled, it's $69. That's still a deal. 4 tickets and a duck boot for $69 to a game?
Domestic draft only. Don't forget.
They're in Wisconsin.
Where the fluff is the team store?
The site.
Shop. Oh, I found it.
I was just about to say, I just found the link on Twitter if you want it.
Oh, my God.
$20 right here.
Shop now. Oh, I'm getting it. Hold 67 ounces of your preferred beverage.
Speaking of
Man.
alcohol, I got some
I need
news
me
as
one.
well.
What's up, Luke?
Oh, alcohol news.
Yeah, it's amazing because Lansing, Michigan, the Michigan Senate passed bills that would allow alcohol sales on campus sporting events Wednesday morning. This was reported 8 hours ago. That means you go to a Michigan State game, you go to a Michigan game, you're in the game, you're at the game. You can now get booze. You know how drunk I'm going to be getting at Michigan hockey game? I'm going to be drunk at Michigan hockey games. I'm going to be chanting my ass off. Probably going to run out of breath. Hopefully I don't fight somebody. It's just going to be a great time.
Am I the only one thinking this is such a good idea, but at the same time, such a bad idea?
This is a great idea.
Like hell
It's an amazing idea. You know how much money they're going to make?
That's true, but also the amount of fight. Actually, you know what? This might be exciting.
Do you know how many people drink outside the stadium because they bring their own booze?
Yeah.
That's
Now they're going
mostly
to
what
buy it
everyone
inside.
does. I assume that's what
Yeah,
everyone
now
does.
they're going to be
It's
making
genius
money.
on their part. I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing until I went to the stadium. So props for them. Just drink responsibly. Drink responsibly, kids.
Oh,
They won't be kids. They'll be
college
adults
kids.
over the age of 21.
That's what we think.
That's what you know, Dylan.
That's what I hope. Damn it.
You have more MLB?
Hell yeah. Let's get it. All right. Final things here. We have Brandon Crawford, who officially made his pitching debut. He threw 20 pitches. 9 of the pitches were 85 plus miles an hour, and he topped it at 89.7. He was asked after, I always give pitchers a hard time about how pitching is not that hard. And I think today that I proved that it's not. Now, he did walk the first batter, but then he retired the rest of the batters, and he got out of the inning. Not a run was allowed, and only 1 hit because that was the center fielder not really trying to get the ball. He could have easily caught it if he would have fucking ran. I'm not going to lie. B. Craw, throwing 20 pitches, all in the 85 pluses, and then coming out talking a little shit on the pitchers. I love it. He's a shortstop.
Watching Crawford pitch had to be fun.
It was great. You want to know why? Because he looked like a pitcher.
Go
He
ahead.
looked like he knew what he was doing.
It's not like San Fran's in the running for something right now.
No, not at all.
Maybe if you put Crawford at relief pitcher, you might be able to get you out of some sticky spots.
I think that's a great idea because nobody can get their timing, which is I think going to be the biggest weapon that he has. Until you have somebody until you finally have the first person who decides to wait, and then it's gone. But I want to keep this moving because I got a couple more things. Do you remember Daniel Murphy? May or may not have played for the Mets and has the record for most consecutive home runs in 8 straight games. Also played for the Colorado Rockies. Also a 4-time MLB All-Star who has not been in the MLB since 2020. And that might be where Jesse doesn't remember him. This man has not played in the MLB since 2020, right before the pandemic when he was on the Rockies. It has been 3 years, but Daniel Murphy has officially decided to come back to the league. He is, like I said, a 4-time All-Star. He holds a record for most home runs in consecutive baseball games. He's a Mets legend in terms of the Twitter world. So big ups, Daniel Murphy. And he's now going to the Angels on a 1-year deal. So I'm excited when I see All-Stars who leave the league and decide to come back and play baseball because normally it's just in a different nation. They just go play in Colombia or some shit. So the fact that he's coming back to the MLB is pretty cool. Next thing, real quick, Shohei Ohtani now leads the American League with 20 home runs. Are we surprised? It's either him or Judge. Exactly, it's him or Judge. All right, last big baseball thing until we get into college. The Oakland A's. I don't know if you saw last night that they had a reverse boycott. They packed the Coliseum. They had over 27,000 fans in that bitch for the first time since they were a wild card team in 2017. Now, the Oakland A's had a reverse boycott, but here's where I need a little clarification from you, because I might just be slow. So what was the point of this? Because they packed the stadium, right? They won the game. They won 7 in a row, and the atmosphere was great, okay? They chanted "sell the team" the entire game. And then when the game was over, when they won, they threw trash on the field. So I'm trying to figure out, are they trying? I get them saying when they're going, fuck John Fishel, and they're trying to say the fans aren't the problem, the ownership is, right? I get the sell the team thing because you hate the owners, right? But then when you're throwing trash on the field and you're making yourselves look like shit and you're making the fans not look like good fans, honestly, everyone was pretty much just shitting on them. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I'll tell you why.
It takes away the factor, like, in my opinion.
I'll tell you why. Because
Okay.
they're currently on a seven game winning streak and they only have 19 fucking wins.
No, that doesn't answer my question.
It does. It means they fucking suck.
Yes, but that doesn't answer my question. My question is, if you're trying to stage how the fans aren't the problem and the ownership is, how is you throwing trash all over the field gonna fucking help that point?
What, they go to one game and trash one game, and then it automatically flip-flops from the owners not being the problem, so now it's the fans because they showed up to one game and trashed it?
Correct.
No. That's them shoving the middle finger into the team's face.
Right, but like, what is that going to do? That's just that it doesn't make you guys look good. It doesn't help your point. If anything, it's 2 wrongs don't make a right, in my opinion.
They don't care on that aspect. They're just trying to trash the stadium because they're like, this is all we can do. We can scream.
Yes.
Are they just trying to make a point? Is that what it is? Just trying?
No,
Like,
they just want them
make
gone
their
as
voice
fast as
heard?
possible because they only have 19 wins and they're on a 7-game winning streak when we're this deep into the season.
Right, and I get that, but what I'm saying is I just don't understand how that's going to help your boycott. I feel like you're hurting yourself.
You know, I don't really think they're there to try and keep the team.
Well, I thought they were when they had 27,000 people pack the stands, telling everybody come in and support the A's. I thought they did, but clearly I was wrong. I got bamboozled, is what I got.
Weaseled.
So because you got bamboozled.
Dylan, you're being bamboozled right now by believing that they were there to support the A's. They were there for a party.
They were there to tell the ownership to fuck off, and I get that.
And to party. They wanted to party. It was a beautiful day. They just wanted a party. They just happened to do it at a baseball game with 27,000 of their closest friends.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I'll give you that, because you know what? Every game's a party.
Not
The
true.
A's sucking for so
Been to a
long. It
lot
is
of
not the
Tigers games
fans.
that weren't a party.
Look,
Yeah.
every game I've seen you with, since you started drinking, you've made a party. So that's bullshit.
No, not every game. But almost every game.
Okay.
As possible. Right.
As much
What,
as you
Dylan?
can, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
All right. Final thing we have is college baseball. Stanford's Quinn Matthews threw a 156 complete game that got Stanford to game 3 in an 8-3 win that kept the season alive. Here was his final stat line. 9 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 16 strikeouts, 156 pitches.
Sounds like me and
relying on
MLB
your
the
math.
show.
Wow. Wow, that guy's decent.
This man did all of that for the next night. That series to end with Texas and Stanford being a 1-run lead for Texas. Bottom of the 9th. first and second, 2 outs. High pop fly to center field. Center fielder.
Oh, this was
right
brutal.
fielder,
I saw this.
second baseman, all looking up into the lights. They lose it in the lights. They can't see. They're talking. Ball drops right in the middle of them. Stanford walks off. They're going to the Elite Eight.
Bro, can you imagine being that center fielder?
That pitcher, the second the pitcher threw the ball, he went and started looking the other way. He said, "That's up. Game's over." Started sallying. Turned around and went. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen a
worse
lot
if you're
of
the center fielder, dude. All you had to do is catch the ball. You didn't even see it.
Yeah,
The ball
I've
was
seen a
right
lot
behind
of baseball players in comics trying to defend them, be like, "Oh, you guys don't know how hard it is to track a ball when it's midnight and the lights are so bright." It's like, well, that's why you didn't go anywhere in your career, because you couldn't track the ball.
The great ones know how to track.
That's why you're in the
ball.
comments.
Exactly.
There's a reason you're not playing in the show right now.
But I just
There's a
think
reason other guys are.
that's a
They can
crazy,
track the ball.
A combination of this man goes out, throws 156 pitches, stands on his head for his boys to get to game 3, and then for that to be the ending. I mean, Stanford's on some shit. They're drinking the luckiest fucking Kool-Aid they have, and it's crazy.
They're winning it all.
Come on, get to my team.
All right. Virginia
Go
is also,
Stanford.
Yeah.
I know you got your Stanford. Virginia is also headed to Stanford, headed to Omaha for the 6th time in program history. They are also moving on to the Elite Eight. They absolutely dismantled their opponent, and Virginia went crazy.
Yeah.
Luke, I'm sorry, but you got Stanford. You can't have your cake and eat it too, because my Oral Roberts Golden Eagles did eliminate your Oregon Ducks to go to the Elite Eight.
If only Oregon had their 3 best pitchers for the series.
Okay, but wait. We got to talk about that Oregon game where they were down 8-rip. Come back and win 9-8. That's electric. We were at the bar and it was 8-0. And I looked at Luke and I said, "Luke, throw $10 on the Ducks." He goes, might have to. Then he never did. We proceed to stay at the bar, watch almost the entire game. We leave and it's like 8-8. We get back to the apartment. Luke leaves. Calls me like 5 minutes later and goes, "Oregon fucking won." He goes, "I should have put $10 on it."
No, that first game was crazy.
I also said if I did do it, that comeback probably would have fucking happened.
Also possible.
I was gonna say there's also a good chance of that.
But
also,
it
did
happen.
I would not have picked Oregon to be the second team the team who loses in the finals to Stanford if I knew their 3 best pitchers were fucking hurt.
Yeah, I also didn't know that. I also had no idea of that, but that ended up being a big factor.
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, why did I pick that
guy? Are you? Dylan always fails to mention the injuries, like when he's doing basketball.
I didn't know that. You think I watch college baseball like that? I don't watch it like that. I only watch it around this time.
Dylan's over here like 76ers and Celtics. Who do you
Everyone's
guys got?
Playing.
Everyone picks the 76ers. Oh, by the way, Embiid's not playing.
Well, then you can change it.
Whoa.
I let you change it.
No. It's even better when we tell him to check the injuries because he's done it before. Says everyone's playing, and then all the stars are out.
And then Jesse goes and checks again, and they're not playing.
It's almost like fucking before game time when they arrive, you find out if they're actually playing or not. I'm sorry. I get this information because I just sent it to Tyler.
All right, we're just making fun of you.
Tell him to grow a sack.
Final thing we have for college baseball is Wake Forest moved on, and a man on their team officially has the most home runs in college baseball. He broke the ACC record, and that man's name is Brock Wilken. He has 70 home runs, broke the all-time ACC record, and Wake Forest is moving on. And here's your Elite Eight. Your Elite Eight is TCU versus Oral Roberts, Virginia versus Florida, Stanford versus Wake Forest, and LSU versus Tennessee. That's where we stand for college baseball. That's where we stand for all of baseball. And that's where we stand for all of sports.
So since my second team in the finals lost, I am going with the Florida Gators to be the team that loses to Stanford in the finals now.
That's what a Gator does.
Chomp.
Chomp.
Because if Stanford loses, then I'm picking Florida to win it all. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, okay. Luke might already be on his third team sooner rather than later.
Well, no. It'd be my second.
Yes. Wasn't Oregon your first team?
No, Oregon was the team I had going
Oregon
to the
was the team
finals
he had
to lose.
losing.
Oh, okay. So you're first and third.
His winner's going to stay, but the second place is going to do a change.
For sure.
All right, people. Thank you so much for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. It's been a fucking hell of a podcast. And next week, there's one primary sport that is officially taken over, and that is baseball. I know they hate it. I love it. But that is the main thing for the next 3 months. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be hitting you with the NBA draft that's coming up. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be UFC. That doesn't mean high coach questions are still going to be here. You're going to make sure you're going to want to tune in because next week should be another great podcast. If you want to check out the socials, at Ride the Tide 586 on Instagram and Twitter, at Ride the Tide Sports Podcast on Twitch and YouTube. Head over to Six Pack Coverage and head over to Shark. Have a great day. I'm McDilly.